This is Zeb here. I have another draft deck. I just finished up at Comic Town on Wednesday. It's currently actually Thursday. We just finished up round 4. As you can tell, this is another green-red deck. I don't know why I keep picking green-red, but it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like the colors are always open. And it's not like I'm trying to intentionally draft green-red, but if I open a rare, that's in my color, and open some really good cards and get past some cards, then I'm going to play those cards. So I feel I know it's kind of getting repetitive. This is like my third green-red deck since the actual pre-release. But let me just go over some of the cards with you, because I actually like this deck quite a bit, and you'll see why in a moment. So for my 2 drops, I have a Generator Servant and 2 Rukon Bears. The Generator Servant has an ability where if you tap and sacrifice it, you add 2 to your mana pool. If that mana is spent on a creature spell, it actually gets haste till end of turn. And one cool thing about this particular card is that you can actually split the mana between 2 creatures. If you have one floating, cast 1 creature, and then you can actually cast a second creature with the mana, and then they both have haste till end of turn, so that's pretty cool. For my 3 drops, I have 2 Netcaster Spiders. That's the spider where it blocks a creature with flying. It actually gets +2/+0 to end the turn. A Reclamation Sage, which when it enters the battlefield, it destroys a target. You may start to destroy target enchantment or artifact. And I have a Regiment Goblin, which actually, a few of these actually were wheeled. But I had one in the deck just so I could cipher through cards I don't need. But I didn't actually play him. I played him a few times. I actually ended up attacking with him, so I didn't really use the looting ability, so it wasn't really that relevant tonight. And then for my 4 drops, I have 2 of the Paragon and Eternal Wilds. How this creature is that when you play it, all your other green creatures get +1/+1, and when you tap it and pay a green, another green creature gets trample until end of turn. So with 2 of these, basically all my other green creatures get +2/+2, and they actually pump each other, so they become 4/4s, and then you can tap them and swing out and get trample. And then I also have a Living Totem. When it enters the battlefield, Living Totem. Come on. Should put these in sleeves, but whatever. Living Totem, when it enters the battlefield, you put you put a +1/+1 on another, +1/+1 counter on another target creature. I also play the Roaring Primer Docks. At the beginning of the upkeep, return a creature to my hand. A creature I control to my hand. So this is a really good combo. I will talk about a little bit later when I go into my other cards. And then for some strange reason, I guess no one else was playing green-red at my table. It was a 10-man pod because it was 20 people total. So it was 2 10-man pods. And for some reason, no one was playing green-red. So I actually got 3 of these Cur Chieftains. How this creature is a 3 colorless and a red, and there's the battlefield. If you control a forest, it gets +1/+1, and if you pay an ability, you play a forest and 4 colorless, and target creature gets +2/+2 and trample till end of turn. So with a lot of mana, you can actually make a big huge army or swing in to do some lethal damage with it. And I got 3 of these too, so on turn 4 more than likely you're going to have a forest in play, and they're going to be 4/4s, and then you play all 3 of them, and that's 12 power on the board, and then you can pump them, either one of them, what have you. Then I also have a Charging Rhino, and the Charging Rhino can be blocked by more than 1 creature. And my rares I actually drafted. I drafted a Colonian Twin Grove, and it basically is like Dungrove Elder, except for it costs more and it doesn't have hexproof. Basically with this particular card, the Twin Grove's power and toughness equals to the number of 4s you actually have control over. So I actually ended up playing this guy with 6 forests in play for a 6/6 with 6 forests on the play, so that was awesome. And in secondary, when it actually enters the battlefield, you get another actual token, and that token also gets power and toughness equal to the forests I have in play. And with this token, this is actually the token that I was actually able to pull tonight in one of the backs. Someone left it and I grabbed it, and this is the token. So if you kind of see this here, you can actually see that they're kind of like fighting each other, or they're kind of like twins, kind of, sort of. This one actually has rocks for hands, if you can kind of zoom in here. You can tell they kind of have rocks for hands, but this one doesn't have rocks for hands. This one kind of looks like a wolf too, if you kind of look at the face. And this one kind of has like a small head too, if you can kind of see the green eyes at the top. But this is what they look like together, so that's pretty cool. And then I actually have a Hornet Queen as well. And with Hornet Queen, it's you play it, and not only does it cast as Flying Death Touch, but it puts 4 1/1 insect creatures with Death Touch on the battlefield. So as I was talking about earlier with the Roaring Primardox, you can kind of combo. Get this out the way. Sorry, token. You can kind of combo with these cards if it gets to a pretty good board state. As I mentioned, I did play Roaring Primardox on that same game where I was able to play him for 6 as a 6/6. So I actually played Roaring Primardox the turn after, played additional 4, so now they were 7/7s, and played Roaring Primardox, and my opponent scooped because they didn't really have any answers to just bouncing back and banking another dude, and that was pretty cool. And the same thing goes with Hornet Queen. You can kind of combo off of Hornet Queen, and the Living Totem are pretty good cards to combo off of. Then I'm going to talk about my non-creature spells. So I have a Gather Courage, Ask Evoke, which you tap a creature with green, or you pay a forest, and a creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I have 2 Titanic Growths, where target creature gets +4/+4 till end of turn. 2 Hut the Weeks. You put a counter on a target creature, and then a creature fights a creature I don't control. And my rare, I also got another rare, Burning Anger. I actually was able to play this once tonight, but how it works is that you enchant a creature, and enchanted creature has this creature deals damage to target equal to its power to target creature or player. So you can kind of like put it on like a Colonial Twin Grove token. Not to Twin Grove itself, because you want to be able to balance it with the Roaring Primardox, but you can put it on the token, and as you play more forest, you actually gain more power, and you can do more damage to the face or damage to a creature or what have you. So it's a really good card. And my uncommon, which actually was passed, is Feral Incarnation. When you convoke it, it's actually 9 mana. It's 8 colorless in the green, and you can convoke it, and then you get 3 beast. 3/3 beast on the battlefield. So that card was pretty good. For my lands, I actually played 5 mountains, Evolving Wilds, and 10 forests for the Twin Globe. So I was playing 16 lands tonight. And with this deck, I wasn't really mana flooded or mana screwed. There were a few times where I missed land drops, but I don't necessarily think it mattered. If it's early on, like late game, or if you like have the 3/3s, if you have 3 mana creatures or 4 mana creatures without that next mana. But I was actually able to get there quite a bit. Actually, my record ended up as 3-2 with this deck. This deck is really good and really strong. One card, maybe if I were going to play 17 lands instead, I maybe could have taken out the generator and played the land, or the Rummaging Goblin, because I didn't really use the ability tonight. But the Generator Servant can also help you ramp, quote unquote, ramp a little bit. So you can kind of pump a Twin Grove. I don't know if the tokens from the Twin Grove also have haste, or is it just the creature itself, or the Hornet Queen? Because that's a really good question, so maybe I'll ask a judge on that. But yeah, other than that, the deck was pretty cool. My first match was a blue-white tempo, or was he blue-black? Yeah, he was blue-black tempo, so he had like a bunch of frost links. Tapped my stuff down, so as I was developing my board, he was tapping stuff down, and I wasn't able to really do anything. And he had flyers, so I wasn't able to attack. But I did slide in a Plummet and a Naturalize. Those are some of the noteworthy sideboard cards I had. And then I also got a Wall of Fire and a Wall of Mulch, which is for a deck I want to try to build in Standard, if I actually get around to it before it rotates. Before this, the rotation happens. I know it won't. This card won't rotate, but when rotation happens. So other than that, I guess that's pretty much it. I will go ahead and end the video. So I kind of want to draft something else. Green red is really good, but I kind of want to draft different colors. So hopefully the next video might actually have different colors. And it's not green red again. So, but I feel like green red is really strong in this set. As far as color combinations, the red on itself is good, and green, I wouldn't do mono green unless I had like maybe two twin girls or something like that. Because green's kind of good on its own. I don't think red is good. I don't think any color is good on its own. But as far as color combinations, I think green red is really, really strong. One card that definitely could have been in here was probably like the Elvish Mystic. Could have ramped maybe two Elvish Mystics to ramp a little bit, to playing forest, playing more lands, Feral Incarnation, to help with ramping and getting more beast out. Noteworthy things that happened, someone actually did open a Nissa and played Nissa, so that was pretty cool. I think someone opened the Soul of New Phyrexia. No, it wasn't the New Phyrexia. It was the someone opened the Soul. I forgot which one, but looking back though, my matches, my first round opponent was blue black. That was my first loss. Then I had to buy second round, so I kind of did a group challenge. That was something else I wanted to do. So since I had this deck and I didn't do anything during my second round, since I had to buy, I actually played the promo Garruk, that giant Garruk card during the pre-release, and just wanted to see how well my deck did against that particular Garruk Planeswalker giant card, and I actually stomped him. Like, it was bad. Like, I beat him so good. So this deck actually passed the Garruk test, mainly because with the Garruk, I don't know if you've seen the promo, with the Garruk promo card that came in the pre-release, it has the ability where you can neg 10 and wipe the board, but if you play like a Kurt Chiefian and start swinging, and then because he has the wolves that pump out, and then he can give a wolf +1/+0 and death touch till end of turn. But with Kurd Chieftain, sorry. With Kurd Chieftain, you can pretty much, if you get aggressive and start attacking, you can use the ability to pump itself and get through and do more damage to Garruk. And as long as he's below 10, you can pretty much stomp. There's really nothing that Garruk can do, because he's not going to be able to get to 20. He's not be able to ultimate. But if you get him below 10, you don't have to worry about the actual. You don't really have to worry about the board wipe ability. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go to sleep. I actually have to go to Walmart to pick up a plunger because my toilet is a little stopped up, so I have to get that taken care of. You guys have a good night. Probably maybe draft next week. Probably won't be this week, but you'll probably see another video at sometime next week. You guys have a great night.